on and you want to get these couple of tickets, let me know. And then I'll give them to Jacob, actually. Jacob will hand them out. Somebody gets them. It's time for Swamp Watch.
The government doesn't work.
Man, you make this like a reality TV show.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
Always a pleasure to be anywhere in Washington, D.C.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Esther.
A town all too clearly built on a swamp. In so many ways, still a swamp.
That's a bunch of malarkey.
He wants to drain the swamp. I said, oh, that's so hokey.
Yep. You know the thing. We were concentrating until she wanted to take a picture of us, and we decided not to. Don't forget Dana. Don't forget Dana. All right, so what's going on in Washington, D.C. right now? The House is actually holding its final vote on that stopgap funding bill to avert a shutdown, so that's completely expected to be approved in the chamber. The government funding would or will, depending on how you look at it, expire about 9 hours from now, 8.5 hours from now, but congressional leaders finally figured out how to do this, how to put this together. There was no real threat that it was ever going to be shut down.
There was just weeks of hand-wringing between the two parties. Democrats initially tried to move it along with another proposal, and Republicans blocked that effort. You knew that they were going to come to an agreement because it affected just too many people. And when you put people out of work like that and you affect their ability to put food on the table over politics, it's not a good way to go into midterms.
And you know, we've said this before. There go the Blue Angels again. We've said it before that in these instances where the government has shut down, I think 2013, 2018, we've had government shutdowns before. It never pans out the way the politicians think it will. The people who are blamed for it is never the opposite party. It's always just politicians in general.
This new measure does include billions of dollars to help with two recent deadly hurricanes that battered the Gulf Coast eastern seaboard, as well as other money to help with resettling the refugees arriving from Afghanistan.
Now, this is just one of the things that Congress is working on. The other is going to be the debt ceiling. That comes up in a couple of weeks, I believe, so they're going to have to work on that also. But that's similar to this in that very unlikely that we'll get to the point where we don't raise the debt ceiling and start defaulting on that sort of stuff. That sort of, they know that that's a nuclear option, so they're going to get something done. But the other part about it is that these infrastructure bills continue to be discussed, and Democrats are still fighting within the Democratic Party to figure out how they're going to do that. Nancy Pelosi says that the $3.5 trillion version, sort of the human infrastructure as it's been labeled, she says is the culmination of her service in Congress. She is 81 years old. 81.
We're all going to hopefully we'll all get there one day.
No, I'm not saying anything wrong with 81.
Don't be an ageist.
I'm just saying she's 81 years old.
Vice President Kamala Harris has rebounded when you look at her approval ratings. Her approval ratings now are higher than President Biden's.
Wow.
Got off to a rocky start at the beginning, including that response on why she hadn't traveled to the Mexican border.
Didn't she laugh at that also?
She laughs at everything. It's a weird, nervous tick that somebody needs to say, knock it off. If I start laughing in inappropriate times, I would like you to call me out on that. Would you do me that service?
I would. Can I call you out when you say inappropriate things?
No.
Just when you laugh at inappropriate times?
Yes. Like if we're in church and I start laughing during the, the thing that they read, the sermon, just give me a little, hey, knock it off.
First of all, let's go back to the original.
Speaking of church, the Calvary Chapel of the Harbor is beautiful.
That's
it's
what
down
I've
the
heard.
road there.
I know. Did you stop by this morning?
No, maybe I'll hit it up on the way home.
Yeah, just start driving, and when you start to feel really warm, that's where you turn left.
Who was it? Was it Carol who said that she had Bible study today and didn't know if she was going to make the News and Brews?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to check off all the boxes so that if Carol's here, which I haven't seen her yet.
The Lord appreciates
She chose the Lord over News and Brews, which I understand.
It was.
You don't have to choose, though.
Kind of 50-50.
You know?
You could have brought the Bible study
Bring
here.
the Bible study here.
We're not going to say anything. Well, she's studying Habakkuk, isn't that the one?
Habakkuk.
She was on.
Habakkuk's the one with all the complaints.
Yep.
he doesn't like that there's bad stuff that happens. If God created all of it, why is there bad stuff?
Right.
And I think we all have had that Habakkuk moment at one point.
I have a Corey Lewandowski update.
Oh,
We haven't heard that in a long time, have we?
I woke up this morning. I was like, what is Corey Lewandowski doing?
So Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota.
You love her.
I didn't say I don't. I'm just saying that she's the governor of South Dakota. She has cut her ties with Corey Lewandowski. Politico came out and said that Corey Lewandowski was accused of making unwanted sexual advances toward a woman at a recent fundraising event. Corey Lewandowski had been, and I didn't realize this, a top advisor for Kristi Noem for some time now, and had traveled the country with her in the last few months, including to Republican Party donors and power brokers. Kristi Noem is one of those rising stars in the Republican Party right now, considered a potential, farther down the list, but a potential candidate for 2024. So that will be, that's something that she's got to keep an eye on.
All right, coming up next, we'll be talking about the Thunderbirds. Please don't embarrass me. Don't do the whole I'm a pilot thing.
I just want to see if I'm still on their roster. I stopped getting emails from them
Yeah.
a while ago.
All right, Gary and Shannon, we are live at HQ's Gastropub here in Huntington Beach. News and Breeze is back, baby.
Layla Muhammad is back in the newsroom with an update.
The Senate has approved a resolution to keep the government funded and prevent a government shutdown. The House is voting on it right now. A woman has been shot during a robbery at a taco stand in North Hollywood where she was working. Disney World will celebrate its 50th anniversary tomorrow. The theme park in Florida opened October 1st, 1971. We're checking out Trouble on the 91 next.
I had an electrician over at the house the other day. He pops open the panel on the side of the house, and he goes, "Whoa, you have Solar Max technology?" And I said, "Yep, had it for a few years." And he says, "How is it?" And I said, "It's unbelievable."
And he immediately cranked that temp down to 60
He
degrees.
did, because with my Solar Max panels, my electricity is practically free.
SolarMax is local. They're right here in Southern California. They've got the best products and the best service going.
Yeah, it means exceptional quality control. SolarMax has no middleman, and I saved with even more because there was no upfront cost.
And they have the newest, most innovative Tesla products like the Tesla 420 panels and power walls.
So you're going to pay zero down for that Tesla package and $79.96 per month with a 1.99% APR.
Call pound 250 from your cell phone. Say that keyword SolarMax. That's pound 250. Keyword SolarMax. Do it by September 30th for this great offer.
Monthly payment available on approved credit. See SLB number 972040.
Come out to Fan Appreciation Day presented by Bank of America and the final home game of the season. Throughout the day, the Dodgers will be showing their appreciation by giving away fantastic prizes. To see the list of prizes and to grab your tickets, visit Dodgers.com/fan appreciation.
Sunny skies, highs in the 80s and 90s inland. This report brought to you by the Los Angeles Dodgers. A crash on the 91 in Anaheim.
Got a double trouble here actually on the 91 in Anaheim Hills, westbound side, just beyond Lakeview. Got a crash into the middle lane, so things are really heavy there, starting back at around Weir Canyon, and now on the eastbound side, looks like right beyond Lakeview. Got a crash here, taking away the fast track and left main line, so things there are going to be jammed up coming away from the 55. Also, it's a very heavy ride if you're heading into the Chino area, rather, westbound side of the 60 at Ramona. That's where the two right lanes are shut down for some cleanup from an earlier problem, and things are heavy for Archibald. Still seeing heavy delays into Pomona, northbound side of the 71, right at Mission Boulevard, where there's a stalled big rig partially blocking the right lane, so things are heavy from the 60. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Jay Olu.
This report is sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross.
Anthem Blue Cross and Heart of America are helping schools across the country increase their access to healthy food. Learn more at anthem.com/ca/SPART. Anthem Blue Cross is the trade name of Blue Cross of California.
Rates subject to change without notice. Minimum loan amount requirements apply. 50% loan to value and 740 FICO credit score. Certain restrictions apply. Subject to credit approval. NMLS 3290. Loans made or arranged pursuant to a California Finance Lenders Law license number 6036970. Equal housing lender.
Unbelievable. Home loan rates have dropped again at IntelliLoan. Today, IntelliLoan is offering a 1.875% rate in the APR with no points and no lender fees. Did you hear that? A 1.875%. Don't think you qualify? I bet you haven't called IntelliLoan. You don't have to have perfect credit to get this great home loan. So lock in this unbelievably low 1.875% fixed rate in APR with no points and no lender fees. So call IntelliLoan before the rates go up. Call them at 1-800-918-6200. That's 1-800-918-6200. Or just go to IntelliLoan.com.
IntelliLoan. Borrow smart.
At Ralph's, fresh groceries are our thing, so we check your delivery order for freshness at every step from farm to store and pick and pack every veggie in your free pickup order with care, because we treat your food the way we want ours to be treated. We're fresh every day, so shop anyway. Ralph's, fresh for everyone. Free pickup on orders of $35 or more. Restrictions may apply.
And right now, save on fresh jumbo avocados. They're the perfect topping for your tacos and 2 for just $4 with your card. Ralph's, fresh for everyone.
Navigating Medicare can simply be overwhelming, which is why I'm suggesting you call AGA Medicare Options. Get educated about all the rules before you make decisions about your Medicare. And believe me, plans change every year and sometimes dramatically. Let me tell you what AGA is offering. A free dinner and an educational Medicare seminar. There'll be no enrollments, there'll be no sales at the seminar, and it's a question of teaching you what's going on. AGA's team of experienced agents will advise you step by step on a plan that fits your unique situation and budget. And as I said, everybody's different. AGA will help you find plans that are accepted by your physicians, cover your medications at the lowest out-of-pocket cost. The free dinner and seminar, and they're all over Southern California. Dial pound 250 on your cell phone and use the keyword My Medicare. Say My Medicare. Pound 250 on the cell and say My Medicare. Or visit AGAMedicareOptions.com, AGAMedicareOptions.com.
I will give you $1,300 off LASIK. This is for you. Only for KFI listeners from Dr. Charles Manger at Saddleback Eye Center. I'll give you a certificate. $1,300 off LASIK. And I can only give away 10 of these discount certificates to 10 KFI listeners who call now and schedule a free LASIK exam. The number is coming in moments. You must be sick of hearing your eye doctor, or maybe several eye doctors tell you that LASIK won't work for you. You go see Dr. Manger. Whether you're nearsighted, farsighted, you have astigmatism, or you just wear reading glasses, Dr. Manger can help you. I had 3 eye doctors tell me I couldn't have LASIK. They were all wrong. I'll give you a certificate, $1,300 off LASIK. You must be one of the first 10 KFI listeners to call now and schedule a free exam. You ready? Call 866-559-4444. 866-559-4444. 866-559-4444.
Rested, refreshed, and ready to rumble. Ramble.
Ooh, this is a lot of fun.
Bill Handel returns. Mornings on KFI, AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Get Jazzy on.
On that flight that you get on, international. First class seat on my lap, girl. Riding comfortable. Cause I know what that girl them need. New York to Haiti. I got this 6 stamp on my passport.
Hearing Shannon, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. And today we are live from HQ Gastropub in Huntington Beach. For our News and Brews, our first News and Brews, I did the math today. 607 days ago was the last time we did a News and Brews.
It feels so good to be back out here, all our friends.
A couple quick headlines also in Swamplex before we revisit the world as a pilot. There was a congressional baseball game last night. Remember, they do this every year. They've been doing this for years, right? For the first time in 40 years, somebody hit an actual home run in the congressional baseball game.
Wow.
Greg, I don't know how to say his last name. Stubbe, member of the House of Representatives for the 17th District in Florida. Crushed it.
Wow, nice swing.
Legit home run. They don't move the fences in or anything. It's just nobody hits a home run in that.
Now I want to learn more about
He hit a home run outside, fully out over the fence at Nationals Park last night, which is the first time in 40 years, so congratulations to the state of Florida. The first long ball hit out of Nationals Park since these congressional games were moved to Nationals Park in 2008. The last person, by the way, believed to have hit an out-of-the-park actual home run in the congressional baseball game was then Texas Congressman Ron Paul
His,
back in 1979.
Greg Stubbe, if I say it.
Okay.
Greg Stubbe is 43 years old, so he's like your age. Are you going to hit a home run at fantasy camp?
We shall see.
Let's do it. I think that's a good goal.
Let's do
His
it. All right.
dad was sheriff of Manitou County. But it doesn't say anything about if he played college ball or anything like that.
He had to.
He had to, but
He
I
saw
mean,
that.
built like, yeah.
Yeah, he's got it. And it's, you know, guys like Steve Scalise, you know, well, that's fine, but the guy literally has bullet holes in him still, and he's pitching for Republicans now.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was that was pitching Greg Stewie's home run, but we did get some good news in terms of COVID numbers. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention 7-day average of U.S. cases has been declining for the last 2 weeks. That is good news. So on September 14th, the daily average was just under 150,000, and as of this week, it's under 95,000. So that is great news. Although people are still concerned about a potential a surge coming up in the fall. There's going to be a lot of flu and other respiratory viruses floating on them
Did
too.
you hear about this Nazi secretary that escaped?
Super old, right?
96 years old.
That's older than Nancy Pelosi.
They said it was a half-day escape attempt of this 96-year-old former secretary at a concentration camp. She was to face trial on Thursday, but fled from authorities. 96 years old. Entered at noon when police brought her before a judge. She's charged with being an accessory to 11,000 counts of murder.
11,000.
She was a secretary between June 1943 and July 1945, allegedly aiding those responsible for the camp and the systemic killing of the prisoners. She said that she wrote to the judge and said, due to my age and physical limitations, I will not attend the court case. Ask that my defense counsel represent me. I'd like to spare myself this embarrassment and not make a laughingstock of myself. Sweetheart, you're a Nazi secretary.
It's not going to get a whole lot worse than what you've already done.
Yeah.
Okay, the update, by the way, the House has just approved the Senate-passed stopgap funding bill to avert a shutdown, so that is done. It will go to the President's desk for signature, and we will avoid any sort of government shutdown. So we're glad that we could bring you this good news, because that means that the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds continue to fly. So that's good news. A quick story also about the Department of Homeland Security. The Biden administration today has some new enforcement priorities for some of their border officials, including a focus on those with a serious criminal record, but encouraging immigration officers to weigh the totality of somebody's circumstances before they actually try to deport them. The secretary, DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, said the majority of undocumented non-citizens, that's a new term, by the way, I've never heard before, undocumented non-citizens who could be subject to removal, the majority of them have been contributing members of our communities for years, according to the Department of Homeland Security. 7-page memo directs ICE officers to consider the gravity, the severity, the sophistication of a crime committed by a non-citizen, including whether a gun or other weapon was used, before they determine whether or not somebody should be deported back out of the United States from whence they came.
Is there like a feelings council where they just come up with things like undocumented non-citizens and what's the term for homelessness or homeless people?
Which one? Unhoused?
Unhoused.
Or urban camping enthusiasts?
Well, that's the one you came up with.
Right.
Right.
Or, something that's not actually calling what it is. Structure deprived.
Deprived. Ooh,
Yes.
I like that.
Or beach adjacent.
You right?
Right. Or maybe freedom adjacent.
Did you hear on John and Ken yesterday how much they're going to spend to build new housing units?
I did see something like they're putting up a high-rise on Skid Row.
Yeah.
Like a 15-story building.
Millions of dollars going towards this, and you're just going to give them away?
Well, I mean, what do you do? Charge people money? It's not like they got money.
I mean, I don't think it needs. I mean, I'm just wondering where the money is going. I want to know whose pockets this money is going into, and what they have done for the politicians who have signed off on this. Because it's not about the homeless. It's about the money made from your feelings being hurt by them being homeless.
Yeah,
That's all it is. It's government contracts. It's all of that.
And it's always
And they're all
bloated.
overpaid.
Totally bloated,
Absolutely.
the whole thing. All right, so we are live today at HQ Gastro Club at Huntington Beach for a couple of different reasons. Number one, it's our news and brews, and we're glad that everybody came out. But also this weekend is the Pacific Air Show. And one of the things, we'll talk about sort of my experience here in just a few minutes, but wanted to give you kind of a rundown of what's coming up. It's going to start tomorrow officially, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, although you may have heard the background, some of the F-18s, the Blue Angels are already out here with some practice runs.
3 days of the best in military and civilian flight demonstrations from teams all over the world, including the Blue Angels, the Thunderbirds, the Red Arrows, the Canadian Snowbirds. It really is something that just takes your breath away.
And I said this before, I don't know if I said it recently, but, well, I was a pilot. I flew with the Thunderbirds at one point, and for a few seconds they actually allowed me to control the airplane, which I thought was pretty silly on their part. But the Blue Angels, the Snowbirds, and the Thunderbirds from the U.S. Air Force, those three teams almost never perform together because they're all doing different things, different air shows around the world, right? And you don't get to see all of them together. In fact, there are very few pictures of the airplanes together. And as far as I know, there's only been one time recently that they've been together, and that was up in somewhere in Detroit, and across the border, the Snowbirds were doing a show so that all three teams got together, and it was just for a photo op, basically, but they've never performed at the same air show at the same time.
Yeah, that'll be something special.
Very, very cool.
We'll get into all of it coming up next. Billy and Tim, we are live here at HQ's in Huntington Beach.
Oh, let me say a quick happy birthday, by the way, to Natasha. Natasha is turning 30 years old today, so happy birthday to the Gary and Shannon show.
You're about to have some of the best years. I remember that time.
And then get ready for the slides, because everything's going to fall apart.
You're going to get a procedure,
fund.
piggy bank, and people you work with will put money in it every day.
All right, Gary and Shannon will continue right after this.
Common sense left California a long time ago. We're bringing it back.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles on time.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Heading versus Beach, back to the Bruce family. I'm Layla Muhammad, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Governor Newsom has signed a bill that will return property in Manhattan Beach to descendants of a black family. The city used eminent domain to take Bruce's beach from Willa and Charles Bruce almost a century ago. Anthony Bruce is one of the couple's great-great-grandsons.
The Bruces have found mercy in the unfailing love of Jesus Christ, and may his name be honored forever by my family. May others see us and say the Lord Almighty is God of that family.
The Bruces have built a popular resort for black beachgoers and refuse to leave despite threats from the KKK. Congress has approved a resolution to keep the government funded and prevent a government shutdown. The bill first cleared the Senate.
The yeas are 65, the nays are 35, the 60 vote threshold having been achieved.
There were 254 yeas in the House.
The motion is adopted, and without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
The short-term funding bill keeps federal agencies operating through December 3rd, but does not address the deadline to raise the debt ceiling to avoid default. News brought to you by Cunning Dental Group. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help with funeral costs for the family of a man killed in a hit-and-run in North Hollywood. He was hit Saturday night by a dark-colored van while crossing Oxnard Street to go to a neighborhood market. The man's wife says she and her family need justice.
Because somebody destroyed my son.
The man was his family's breadwinner. He has two older teenage daughters. One says she's angry the driver of the van hit her dad and kept going. Governor Newsom has signed a police reform bill into law. The bill's author, Democratic Assemblyman Reggie Jones Sawyer, says the legislation is rooted in making sure police recruits are more mature and educated.
The minimum age for incoming officers will increase from 18 years to 21 years of age, aligned with that of other law enforcement agencies, as well as the legal age to possess a firearm in the state.
The law also directs California's community college system to create a modern policing degree program which will include classes on social justice and racial studies. The police reform law goes into effect January 1st. More than $500,000 and an arrest warrant have been approved for the son of a former Real Housewives of Orange County cast member.
The settlement for Josh Waring is over claims OC Sheriff's deputies allowed inmates to attack him. Waring claims because he exposed a scandal where attorney-client privileged calls were illegally being recorded at OC jail. Supervisors approved the settlement this week. Waring pleaded guilty in a shooting and was released last year. The judge said then he's a different person when he's sober. But Waring was arrested twice for drug charges after his release, and the guy's a fugitive for not showing up to court. In Orange County, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she wants to see the House pass a $1.5 trillion infrastructure bill today, though that may not happen. The bill is a pared-down version of President Biden's $3.5 trillion plan.
For us has to win the vote. I don't want to even consider any options other than that. That's just the way it is. And that's our culture. If you don't understand that culture, you don't understand that culture. But that's our culture. We go in it to win.
Progressive lawmakers have said they'll block the smaller bill unless the Senate first approves the larger social policy package. Democrat Senators Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema say they can't support the $3.5 trillion package. Manchin says he can only support spending $1.5 trillion. The property in the Miami area that was the site of that condo collapse in June, killing almost 100 people, may be sold to a developer in the United Arab Emirates. A judge has signed off on the deal to sell the property for $120 million in cash, but an auction will be held if other people come forward who want to buy the site. One of the most active volcanoes in the world is erupting in Hawaii. Kilauea is in a national park on the Big Island. Kilauea had a major eruption in 2018, destroying homes. A feisty 411 friend has interrupted Greece's prime minister during a news conference with Slovakia's prime minister. Greece's prime minister says his dog Peanut is, as he puts it, quite lively and usually just greets guests at the door. But Peanut was a stray and adopted in April from the prime minister when he visited the volunteers on World Stray Animals Day. Peanut said he was not for today. There's a crash on the 710 in Long Beach.
710 southbound side, so pretty much right there at Long Beach Boulevard. 3 big rigs involved in this crash, taking away the far right lane. It's going to be pretty heavy as you're turning away from Rosecrans. Heading into Westchester, northbound 405, right before Lock O'Hara, a crash is being moved to the shoulder, but it's going to be through from Century and State, so it goes on over to the country there. Meanwhile, on Echo Park, northbound 101 at Rampart, the offering shut down due to a stalled car, so things are heavy from first. Getting into Anaheim Hills, 91 eastbound side of Ontario, that's where a crash has to a fast track, both fast track lanes actually, and the left main line shut down, so things are heavy from Tustin Avenue. Then on the flip side, 91 westbound side, just beyond Lakeview, a separate track here just moved to the shoulder, but it's really heavy coming away from Rio Canyon. And if you're getting into the Chino area, westbound 68 Ramona, 2 right lanes are shut down for us in Chino, and things are heavy there coming away from Archibald. KFI in the sky, hope to get you there faster. I'm Jerry.
A warm-up on the way now. Termites love Southern California, and there are 2 kinds of termite seasons here. One, well, it's here all year long, and 2, it's really termite season, and that's what's going on right now. If you see those little bugs flying around or what looks like small pieces of sawdust on the floor, termites, and I'm going to suggest you call Pacific Coast Termite for a free home inspection. Now, certain restrictions apply. When you use Pacific Coast Termite, no tenting, no double bagging your food, no pet sitting. I've tented before. It is a nightmare. You do not want to go there. You can actually be home while Pacific Coast Termite does its work. Try doing that with a tent over your house. Mention KFI, get 10% off termite treatment, 2-year guarantee on their work. Call 800-PACIFIC, 800-PACIFIC. Visit PacificCoastTermite.com.
The clean, friendly way. San Manuel Casino is changing its name and it's changing the game. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel. With 2 new casino floors, now with over 6,500 slots, the most in the West. A new high-limit room for 5 elevated gaming experiences, new luxury retail shops, restaurants and bars, and even more thrills to come. Experience a level of thrill that California has never seen before. San Manuel Casino is now Yamaba Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Enjoy at Yamaba.com after 21. Please gamble responsibly.
The KFI financial report brought to you by Bay Alarm. The Dow finished down 5.
Sorry,
down 52. NASDAQ down $1.64. The average price per gallon of regular gasoline in California, $4.39.
Bay Alarm is celebrating 75 years of innovation and personal service at
Rain weather from KFI, sunny skies out there for your Thursday. Highs in the upper 70s to near 80 in the beach area. Mid-80s for Metro and Inland OC. Low 90s in the valleys and the IE. Looking ahead into the weekend, highs in the 90s inland. Right now it's 91 degrees in Anaheim, 76 in Costa Mesa, 86 in Calabasas, 74 in Hermosa Beach. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Leila Muhammad.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We are back here at HQs in Huntington Beach for our News and Brews. It is the pregame for the air show that's happening starting tomorrow and all throughout the weekend. It is going to be a party.
Yeah, go to PacificAirShow.com. They still have tickets available. A bunch of different ways that you can actually see the air show, different levels of tickets that they have available. They tell you all about the best place to park, the best time to be here, everything that's going on. And then AfterburnerMusicFestival.com is also where you can find out about tickets and the lineups for the show both tomorrow night and Saturday night. Right out here, actually, as a matter of fact, close to the pier where the stage will be. So it'll be an absolute great show.
Are you going to make me drink alone?
No, I just haven't ordered a beer yet.
Okay, because it's 1 o'clock.
I know, and
It's
that's what I was waiting
approved
for.
drinking
It is
time.
now approved?
Yes.
I'll let Jacob pick for me, because I think he's smart enough. He'll make it
Yeah, he
a
makes
decision
good
for me.
decisions.
And I just happened to stumble upon, you know how YouTube will tell you, like, hey, if you watch this video, you should watch this one? I just stumbled upon the video that I put together after my time as a pilot with the Thunderbirds back in 2018, and I was taking Jacob through it because he's never seen it before. And what are you looking at? And it reminded
If
me.
you want to watch the video of you flying with the Thunderbirds as a passenger,
Right.
you can watch it as many times as you want. You don't need to rationalize it and show it to people who have yet to see it. Has Dana seen it before? Why don't you pull it up and watch it again?
You've seen that video before, haven't you? Yeah, he's seen it multiple times because he appreciates my work.
Your
And,
work?
yeah,
Okay.
he appreciates my work. And listen, and you keep saying this every time we bring this up, that I didn't fly the F-16. And the camera that you've got, this view that you can see of me, I know you want your eyes to avoid it, but you can see, that's me as we take off. I'll throw the link up so you can see it later. So this is me flying upside down. I mean, he did it, but I'm upside down. And then it's going to say the first aileron roll of the day. And he in the front just goes, hey, hang on, we're going to flip the full 360 degrees.
Your eyes.
I did not. Those are goggles.
I saw through the goggles and closed your eyes.
But then he said, you do it. And I said, are you sure? And he said, yep, do it.